I love yours. Says happy to chat.
Oh, I guess I just put it up there.
Uh, Today has been well. I'm just getting started.
Yes.
I really started at about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
But you only my third ride because I had a ride from Evanston to the airport, and then from the airport just to a couple blocks from you.
Yes.
But tonight is the marathon is in town today, so it's gonna be real busy today.
What marathon?
The Chicago Marathon.
I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. What made you like that? I said like to chat.
That's the first time that I've seen that on.
That was the first time I got to ask that. I was just like, oh sure.
Because some people like to just ride in silence, which
Yes.
I'm good with as well.
Yes, yeah.
But I'm pretty good at knowing whether people want to engage with me or not.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, yeah, that's the people that just don't know how to read a room.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you been driving around Uber?
10 years.
10 years. Jesus Lord. Why 10 years?
Well, I started it because my wife had surgery and she couldn't work. So I had to pick up something to take up the slack. And I just enjoyed it. And so I kind of never quit.
What do you enjoy about it?
This.
The conversation.
Yes. And I know the city better than I've ever could have.
Yeah.
I know all of the great places now, right? Because I get to know all of the good places to go to. It's just like, it made me realize how insignificant I am in life. And I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Expand.
What do you mean, like, expand on that? What do you mean that you realize that you're how insignificant and that you're grateful for that? What does that mean for you?
That, we're always so concentrated on what we're doing.
Yes.
We never think about life going on outside of us.
Yeah.
And when I'm in this car and I get people such as yourself, and like the girls I just picked up just flew in from Germany. And they were talking about all of the traveling that they've been doing. So I didn't even engage in the conversation, but hearing all of the things that they're doing while I'm out here doing this, And it just made me realize to pay attention more to what people are doing and what else is going on outside of what my life is. And I actually love that, I love that I'm not so insular anymore, I'm more outward looking. That's why when I seen you saying like love to chat, I love chatting.
So how has that helped you? Like, do you feel like it makes you better with your life? Does it make you put things in perspective?
Both of those.
Yeah.
Because it's more like we're only growing when we're uncomfortable.
Yes.
Right? When we're comfortable, we're no longer growing because we've mastered the situation. Right? But when you're talking to people who you don't really know, it's kind of uneasiness just to begin with, because you don't know what to expect, right? So it kind of puts you in a state of, right, uncomfortableness.
Yes.
And that's when you're learning,
Yes.
right? And I've learned so much about, like they were just talking about, I've been to Germany, but I've never been to Hamburg.
Yes.
And they were in the back of the car talking about Hamburg and all the things that they do in Hamburg, and like I'm learning about that, right? And then I talk to people about politics, and I'm learning about that, right? And I'm learning about their perspective on it and all this. So I would like to be in a constant state of learning.
I like that because I feel like recently, with our political climates, I don't feel like people talk to each other anymore. They don't get out of their own circle. And to me, I like what you're saying, how it broadens your mindset, your perspective. It helps you become a better person, helps you more well-rounded. And I love how you're saying if you don't get out of whatever team you're on, you're just stuck. You're just stuck there. How do we get people to I guess the cliche thing is to be uncomfortable and be comfortable being
uncomfortable. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's exactly what it is. But the thing is it's kind of easier for me because of what I do here.
Yes.
Right? Because I get people, I just picked these girls up that's coming in to visit from Hamburg. You know what I'm saying? You may not ever run into anybody from Hamburg. Right? But when we talk about the political climate, I always tell people that this is a safe zone. Right? You're like, oh, people don't need safe zone. Yeah, you do. Because people need safe zones in order to be able to express themselves in a way that they normally wouldn't.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
it's kind of like when we're with people from our culture, we act different, right? It's not something that we choose to do, but it's like, I mean, let's be honest. We in a room full of white people, and we're the only ones that look like us. We definitely have a different behavior, right? We have a different mindset. Like, oh, you know, I can't say that here.
Yes.
I can't do that here. I can't laugh too loud. I got to, you know, we have all of these parameters that we put on us, right? Whereas when we're in a room of our people, we're not even thinking about that.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that I actually even thinking about that.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Because most people, that's just the automatic thing that happens. Is that, okay, I can't be too loud here.
Yeah.
You know, we in the restaurant, oh, we the only black table in here. Stop being so loud. You know what I mean?
So with all of this, like, what was my question? I totally forgot. But so what's the one thing out of all these conversations that like changed you, that you were like, wow, that really changed my perspective, and I'm glad that I had this conversation?
Well, it's never one thing.
Yeah.
It's a group of things.
Yes.
Right? It's hearing things from people from different perspectives, from different values. You know, even like just religion, right? People will talk about religion, and people will talk about how, you know, they were raised in this religion. What you won't find typically is people who've changed religions from a religion that they were introduced to from their parents.
Yeah.
Right? That hardly ever happens. Right? If it happens that they transition from that religion to non-religion.
Yeah.
Right? Not from that religion to another religion.
Right.
But it's just seeing and hearing their perspective on how that happened.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Catholics will say, you know, the scandal with the priest was like the last straw for them, you know? And you hear about like the Baptists, and Baptists more so is they moved from their home church.
Yeah.
And they didn't, like, they moved somewhere else. Like when they go back home, they go to church. But when they're not at home, they don't go to church, right? And it's because more times than not is that they feeling uncomfortable because they don't know this, even though this is a Baptist church, they're uncomfortable. Now, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness.
I was just gonna say, I have a whole Jehovah's Witness side of my family, and one thing that they did with one of the cousins was allow him to explore other religions. But as a grown man, he just settled right back into Jehovah's Witness. How was your experience as being Jehovah's Witness, and especially learning, because you guys have such a rigid, I don't want to say religion or mindset, but like, you know,
it's both of those.
Yeah, okay.
It is. That's the best way to actually put it. Is the way you put it.
Yeah.
Is a mindset and as a religion, because these are the rules and these are the rules you go by.
Exactly.
But what got me the most out of this was that, like for instance, we couldn't wear dreads.
Yeah.
Right? Because dreads was deemed as unkept.
Yeah.
Right? Well, who deemed dreads unkept?
The European white man.
Exactly. Exactly. But see, why was that your answer?
Yes, because you know, like, because we live in their world, we live in their planet, and they want us to be.
Yes, but why was that your answer?
I just know.
But why do you know that?
Because of just history of our culture and like how we always had to have haircuts so we can be clean and cut.
But where did you get that from?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Everybody has that experience, but not everybody sees that perspective.
Yeah.
Why do you see that perspective? Think about it.
I guess the reason why I see it is because I grew up in like the cubicle life where you had to keep your hair cut and clean, but our hair is natural and is thick and is voluptuous. And actually knowing about black women's hair, white women always got jealous, so that's why they had to wear scarves in public. So I just assume that through history, it's just going to link back to.
There's never an assumption.
Racism.
There's never an assumption.
Okay.
You learned that.
Yes.
But think about it.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that at?
Yeah.
Right? You learned that. And in the way you said it wasn't something that you got by osmosis. You know what I'm saying? I can tell by the way you phrased it.
Yeah.
You don't remember where you learned that at?
I can't remember, no.
Okay, did you go to college?
Yes.
That's where you learned that at?
That dreadlocks were...
No, just the way you said that,
yeah.
There's something that you pick up in college, right? Especially when you go to college and you kind of gravitate to the other black people and you all talk about stuff. If you didn't go to college, you would never have phrased that like that,
And
right?
how did I say it to make you like, oh, this isn't a college educated? Like, what did I say that called it out?
You know, I don't know,
Okay,
but
okay.
I can't even tell you. But that's
Just
that's,
the way I said it.
Yes,
Yeah, gotcha.
That told me that you had learned that,
Yes.
and that wasn't something that you just picked up.
Yeah.
That's why I said, You know? Because I was what you would call a professional student.
Mm-hmm.
Where I started school in '92 to get my bachelor's, and I didn't graduate till 2018. It's a long time to be in school.
Yes, for sure.
But I never, like my mom and dad, never planned for us to go to school. Nobody had ever talked to me about going to school. I didn't have a mindset on school, so I would go and I would take classes that I was interested in. I never had a goal, right? I went to Barry College. I went to College of Lake County. I went to Northwestern. I went to Oakland Community College. I went back to Northwestern, and then I went to Lake Forest College, which is where I was working, which is where I had a professor take an interest in me and say, hey, you know, you got all of this education. Why don't you have your degree? And she said, you really need to get your degree. And then that's how I got my degree. But we would talk about those kind of things, like not even in class, but they would have, like, we had panels on the N-word.
Yes.
We'd have, like, and those are the kind of things that you just learn because you're in a learning environment. And that's kind of where my perspective was kind of built at. Because I have always been in a learning environment. When you work at an educational institution, because I worked at Northwestern also. So I started working at Northwestern in 97. And I worked all the way from Northwestern. I left and went to Lake Forest College. And I quit Lake Forest College 2 years ago. So I've always, pretty much in my whole adult life, been in a, come on, bud. I've been in an educational environment. And that's how you kind of pick up those kind of things also. But being a Jehovah's Witness, that was one of the things I learned in one of my African American studies class.
Gotcha. Is
that European males dictated culture, right? And the change in that really came in the 50s when Elvis acquired our culture and started exporting it. And then the Beatles acquired our culture and started exporting it. But it really wasn't until the 60s and the 70s that black culture took a life of its own, right? Because black culture and American culture is cool culture, right? And in order to be cool, you got to be white.
Yes.
But it killed me when I thought about that and I learned, hey, you know, we got these people running the congregation who are white European males, and they're telling us what a standard of beauty is, right? When the Bible specifically says, come as you are.
Yes.
And they saying, no, you can't come as you are.
Yes.
You need to come like this.
Yes.
And it's like, well, wait a minute. That's not quite accurate.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from for me to be like, yeah, I'm not for this. And then also, they had their own thing with child molestation also.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'll never forget when they first came out with it, my mom said, they only doing that because this is happening with the Catholic. Now they want to come after the witness. But in my opinion, but again, you know, working at an educational institution, my first thing is, if that occurred, that's wrong. Not, oh, they're wrong for coming after it, right?
It's overall is wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that should have been the first response.
Yeah. That's I think about that too when it comes to religion. It's always like a pick and choose who you have, who you save, who you stand by, and it's all just about continuing their idea of what they think is what controllable, I guess.
The rigid mindset.
The rigid mindset.
And the rigid laws of the religion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this: if you magically passed away, God told you it was your time. What is something that if I talk to your family, what is like the impact you wish you left behind? Like if I talk to them, like tell me about this driver. Who was he? What kind of man was he? What do you think they would say?
He was the one we went to for all our information.
What is your sign? Do you know your astrological sign?
Yeah, I'm a Leo.
Ah, gotcha. See, I knew it was a fire sign. I was going to say Sag, but I'm a Sag.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
I'm a twin also.
Are you?
But I'm the one that everybody calls and say, hey, this is going on. What do I do? Hey, right? And then that's the other thing that everybody around me benefits from my education. You know what I mean? They weren't sitting in those classes that I was sitting in, but because I had access to those classes, they now have access to information that they may have never had access to because they have access to me.
Yes.
So a lot of times I'm learning and reading and going about things that have nothing to do with me, but for somebody else.
Yeah.
Or that somebody else may need this.
Yeah.
How do you say your name?
Cayman, like the
Cayman?
island. Yes.
It was so nice
It was nice meeting you. Thank you so much. I had a blast.